Can we talk about Metroid 2 Samus Returns, people? Because this is a mighty fine game. There's going to be spoilers for this one, so if you don't want to hear any, I suggest you close this video right now. First off, I want to say that this game is a must-buy. It is a must-buy that lives up to the Metroid legacy in every shape and way. Mercury Steam did an incredible job with this game, with the only negatives being slight frame rate issues with the Plasma Spacer Beam combo, and the hand and wrist pain you were going to experience playing this game on even a 3DS XL. I'm going to be completely honest with you, my hands still hurt from playing this game. It's that bad. I'm not joking, it's really that bad. Even Erica said that her hands are hurting, and she's a woman, and I'm assuming that her hands aren't as big as mine. So, if you're new to the Metroid series, this game takes place after the first Metroid game on the NES, or now Metroid Zero Mission on the GBA. If you're going by the current expanded canon, this game takes place after Metroid 1 and after the Prime series, but one game before Super Metroid. I know, it's confusing, but Nintendo still refuses to give us a proper sequel to Metroid Fusion. It is what it is. So the story goes as follows. The Federation sends an elite squad to SR-388, which is the home planet of the Metroids, to exterminate the Metroids, but conveniently and predictably, they go missing. A rescue team is sent out, but guess what? They go missing too. So they call you, the ace bounty hunter, Samus Aran, to get the job done. Now, I haven't played the AM2R Metroid 2, so this review won't involve any kind of comparisons to it. And although I did finish the original one on the Game Boy, my older cousin had 2 copies of the game. It was so long ago, and that game is completely out of my mind because it was completely overshadowed by Super Metroid to me, and it's just completely forgotten to me. So, more or less, this will be a standalone review with very little comparisons, but this game is a remake. And some of you might be asking, what is new in this remake? Well, there's plenty new. 8-way free aim via holding the L button. You can climb, you can ledge hang, you can use the grapple beam, there are power bombs, there are these things called Aeon abilities, which include a lightning shield, which allows you to absorb damage and run through damaging obstacles. Think of that electrified coil or coral in the swimming levels of Ninja Turtles on the NES, so you can get through that without being damaged. There's a scan pulse, which reveals blocks and hidden areas and areas on the map, which a lot of people do complain about, but hey, if you don't like it, don't use it. There's a rapid fire option, which allows you to quickly kill enemies, and some enemies you actually need to use it or you can't kill them. And there's a time slow feature, which allows you to slow down time. That way you can dodge things and you can run over blocks so they don't break in time and things of that nature. Aeon abilities do require an Aeon energy gauge, which you can actually get upgrades for, and when you kill enemies, you can actually get energy that can fill that gauge separately, which is separate than missile expansions and energy for your shields and energy in the game. And lastly, there is a counter. You can counter by hitting Y, and this is pretty cool because enemies in this game are pretty aggressive, and they will all attempt to rush you down. To counteract this, you can hit the Y button upon the point of contact, and you can stun them momentarily for easy kills. You can even do this against bosses, which is really cool because you get to like take them down, lasso them, jump over them, blast them in the chest with missiles. It's actually pretty damn cool to counter them. But be advised, you do take massive damage in this game. No pun intended from Genji or giant enemy crabs. And if you do this against a boss, you can wipe out a boss real quickly, but if you mess up, you will take a hit that will deplete, hell, an entire energy bar, and that's pretty much not good. So in the beginning of the game, I kind of stayed away from the counter, but as far as when I got more energy tanks and better weapons, then I started using the counter more because you're able to make more mistakes and get to the game quicker without being penalized so much about using it. Now, this all sounds all good and well, but when you're managing all these things, managing all these tight controls, it becomes an absolute nightmare on your hands. And why Nintendo does not allow you to use a D-pad on this game is beyond me. A 2D game, let me please use the D-pad. Your hands will hurt playing this game. They will. Your hands, your fingers, your thumbs, your wrists, mine are still burning right now. It's that bad. But even despite all this, should you get this game? Yeah. And what do you do in this game? Simple. You hunt Metroids because that's what the Federation sent you to do. They sent you down to SR-388 to hunt, kill, and, wow, essentially perform genocide against the Metroid. So you traverse the map and you hunt a different variety of Metroids, and once a certain number are killed, you get access to the next area, rinse and repeat. And there are 4 different types of Metroids to fight as bosses because, you know, Metroids do evolve, and there are 4 different types to fight. And then you also fight the standard Metroid, the standard jellyfish kind, and then you fight the Queen. And then you also get to fight Ridley. For some odd reason, they decided that, hey, we'll make Ridley a hidden final boss fight because we haven't fought Ridley enough times. I mean, I guess he just wanted to get his ass kicked on SR388 just to, I know what, it kind of does make sense because he doesn't want to take revenge on you at the space station in the next game in Super Metroid. There's also a boss I call the Carpal Tunnel Robot, which is a giant, I guess, cavern-making construction robot, and that boss fight was fun as hell, but man, is it brutal on your hands. Absolutely brutal on your hands and wrists. But I've heard Mercury's team originally wanted to do the Metroid Fusion remake, but they ended up getting handed this game, so maybe, just maybe, we will get a Metroid Fusion remake, and then hopefully, maybe, and finally, we will actually get a chronological sequel to the Metroid franchise and a sequel to Fusion. But all in all, this game is a game I highly, highly, highly recommend. Highly recommend, especially if you have small hands. So, what are you waiting for? Go out and buy it.